What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video, and I'm pleased to welcome Akim Williams, top 10 finisher in the 2019 Mr Olympia, 7th place in this year's Arnold Classic. Akim, welcome to Desktop Bodybuilding.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Man, it's an absolute pleasure. And I mentioned before we actually started this as well, I've been following you for years. I've followed RX Muscle back in the day, and I saw you really come up being coached by Dave Palumbo back then, and now you're 1 to 2 days out of the Chicago Pro now, which is extremely exciting. And it's in I suppose different circumstances to probably how you thought you was going to be prepping, because you're a New York guy and you've been prepping, and I assume your gyms have closed down and stuff while you was actually, I suppose, getting ready.
Well, this show was a little bit of a last-minute decision. I was thinking about doing New York again because I was second in New York last year, and we were unsure as to if they're going to cancel the show or not. And then last minute they decided to bring the show to Florida. So I didn't have enough time to prep for it. So right after that, I think I was about 8.5 weeks out from Chicago. So I just made a critical decision. Like, you know what? I got 8.5 weeks to get in shape. I'm going to do Chicago. So.
Yeah,
awesome. It was a last-minute decision.
Yeah, and you've looked at tremendous, in recent years. You're working with Oscar Arden, and that's been a sort of change to your prep as well. And it's worked really well for you because you've brought the best conditioning I've ever seen you bring. You've you won a pro show a few years ago now, but you've like I said, finished top 10 in the Olympia. So what I suppose Oscar Arden and Dave Palumbo, two very different coaches, because Dave Palumbo isn't as hands-on as an Oscar Arden, and I think very few prep coaches are as hands-on as Oscar Arden is with his preps, because we've seen the videos in the past of him prepping Kai Green and everything he does, from having him stay with him and all that sort of stuff. So how different has it been prepping with someone like a Dave Palumbo compared to an Oscar Arden?
Well, Dave Palumbo, great coach. Only thing about him is, like I said, he's more of an internet coach.
Yep.
So you're sending pictures over the internet. He goes off your photos and stuff like that. Like you said, somebody like Oscar, he sees you with his eyes. Like this past week for the Chicago Pro, he actually stayed at my apartment for like the last week. He would come over every night, see what I look like in the morning, and we'd go from there. So I never got to experience that before, because now everything is changing day by day. We're not just following the specific diet that we were following when we were like 4 or 5 weeks out. Now we're changing the meals every day. We're just going based off of how it looks. So it's a lot different from looking at somebody on pictures versus like seeing somebody in person all the time,
Yeah, absolutely. And we're looking at your Instagram page now as well, just so people can see exactly what you're looking like. And this is you and your coach here, Oscar Arden, training. So where are you training right now, and where have you been training? Because I do know that the New York gyms were closed down for a little bit.
Well, the cool thing about having a coach like Oscar, we have a private gym, his private gym. So we're still able to, even though all the regular gyms are closed, we're still able to get the workouts in his private gym. So that's been a blessing. I'm still able to work out the way I want to and everything like that, because, I have unlimited access to the gym. So that's been great.
Does it feel like sort of like Dorian Yates sort of style, because he, used to train underground and stuff, and it's almost like you've gone to that for this prep? And how do you think it's been? Do you think it's been almost beneficial for you?
It's definitely less distractions. There's no windows. There's only like one mirror in the gym, or 2 mirrors in the gym. So you're not spending time like walking around looking at yourself in the mirror. Also, like the cell phone down there is horrible. So you're not going to be walking around like on your cell phone and stuff like that. So it's definitely back to the old school, where you just go to the gym and train and that's it,
Yeah, for sure. Now you're looking in tremendous condition. You're obviously a massive, massive dude. You're one of the biggest bodybuilders and one of the biggest, I suppose, men muscular wise on the planet. I mean, how's it been, I suppose, like being one of the bigger guys and then finally be able to figure out that condition to a fine point? Because, man, I was looking at your photos, and your medialis on your leg is just totally striated, which very few guys get. I mean, do you still hear people say, "Oh, he just needs to bring conditioning"? Because I've heard some people in the media, in the bodybuilding media, say, "Oh, he just needs to bring conditioning," and I'm like, he's been bringing it lately.
Well, I actually leaked a photo of me just like showing my back, and I think it was yesterday I leaked the photo. Was it? It's not on my Instagram.
Oh,
I just leaked. I never posted it. I didn't post it, but I got a lot of
this one
compliment. Yeah, there you go. I got a lot of compliments on it, even from one of the current Mr Olympias who's coming back. So, so that says a lot.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. So how do you think you're looking this time around? Obviously, you said you've done a last minute sort of prep. How do you feel like you're looking this time around? We can see obviously in the photo, it looks sensational compared to previous preps like the Arnold earlier this year.
I think it was really good because it's a shorter time, and it's like I compared it to being in the basketball playoffs right now. Either you win or you go home.
Yeah.
So you got a shorter time and you got to be more focused. You know, there's no playing around because you got one chance to win and qualify. So I definitely, the pressure was on for this prep, but I rise to the challenge. With a coach like Oscar, who believes in you and there to give you that mental support, and not also physical support, but you have somebody like that in your corner, you could achieve anything, man.
Yeah, because he's very big on the mindset. I remember watching a lot of those Kai Green videos when he's prepping for the Olympia and the Arnold Classics, and Oscar was always there in those videos. I mean, he's very much into the mindset side of things. He's very intense with his training and stuff. It seems that sort of way. How much has he helped you mindset wise, not just obviously with nutrition and training and everything?
Definitely tremendously. Me back in the past, I've always knew I had the physique, but sometimes, what you believe and what you see in person is usually not the same thing. And if you don't have that belief in yourself, it's very few things you could accomplish. So just working on my mindset in terms of me having that confidence and knowing that I belong on that stage with the top guys, just helped me elevate my bodybuilding career to definitely to the next level.
Yeah. And you've been one of the strongest bodybuilders. I've seen you do some crazy squats, some crazy deadlifts, and you are extremely strong. I haven't seen as much of that lately. Have you veered away from the really heavy lifts?
Yeah. We changed things up a lot. Like when I first met Oscar, he would die laughing because he used to call me the 10 rep man. So whatever I was doing, it didn't matter if I was benching, it didn't matter if I was squatting, I would never go past 10 reps. Wow. Even if I was doing biceps, I would just do 10 reps. So he got a kick out of that because for bodybuilding, you want to go like moderate weight and higher reps and stuff like that, 15, 20 reps and stuff like that. And I was just training trying to put a whole bunch of weight on there and just doing 10 reps and expecting to be, a Ronnie Coleman or something like that. So the training style has definitely changed. And you can see it a lot in my physique. It's a lot more refined and everything like that.
Absolutely. Now you're competing against a pretty solid lineup here, and it seems like the lineups we've seen in the competitions lately have been super deep and super close from first place down to fifth, or even sometimes down to 10th, like we saw in the New York Pro. It was very competitive the whole way down. We saw, Antoine Daliant, he finished, I think it was 7th, and next weekend in Cali, he won. So you're competing against guys like Justin Rodriguez, Nick Walker making his pro debut. There's a bunch of other guys. Who do you see, I suppose, as your biggest competition? Because you're one of the favorites going into this show.
I mean, I put that blinders on. I don't really care who's in the show because I can't do anything about how they look the day of the show, anything like that. I could only focus on me, So whatever prep I do right now, I just focus on me and try to beat the best Akim that did the previous show. Like I'm trying to beat that Akim that showed up at the Arnold Classic 2020, And if I could accomplish that, then my goal, And of course, we definitely want that win, but I don't really focus on other competitors like that,
For sure. And do you need to win this show to qualify for the 2020 Mr Olympia?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the guys in Europe, they got a break, top 3, they got qualified. But with this one, you have to win to qualify for the Olympia.
And it's unfortunate too, because there's going to be some good guys that miss out, regardless of what the results happen at the end, I suppose, of the competition. But Akim, Matt, I don't want to keep you too long. I want to thank you very much for coming on Desktop Bodybuilding. Do you want to give a shout out to anyone or your sponsors or anything like that?
Of course, man. Definitely want to say thank you to Gerard and the whole MHP team for always taking care of me, standing by me and giving me the support I need to continue this journey in bodybuilding. Also, my coach Oscar Arden, man, he's been awesome, like really awesome. Like I can't say that enough. He's really like helped my career move to the next level. He believes to be 100%, and I hope to make him proud this weekend. So.
Sure. And I've just got one last question. So Oscar, like I mentioned, obviously with the mentality and stuff and everything that I suppose that he's helping you, I suppose, mentality wise, rather than just nutrition and stuff. What has he said to you about this contest? Does he say you're going to win this show 100%? Like, what is he sort of putting into your head?
Man, listen, he's not training you unless you believe it and he believes it that he's going to make you, like, we're going to win. Then we're not training. We're not training for second or third or fourth, and that we're training to win. So he's always had that mindset that if we're going to do a show, we're doing it to win.
Awesome. I can't wait to
But
see the results and how you look at this show, man, because from the photos I've seen, you're looking phenomenal. You're definitely going to be up there. And, you know, I think some people have slept on you because it has been so last minute. Everyone's talking about Justin because he's, you know, he's the, I suppose,
yeah, he's been prepping for a while.
Great. Yeah. So,
but I mean, like, I definitely, I would say I definitely did my homework and prepared to be impressed, you know.
Awesome. I love that, man. I can't wait to see what you look like. So that's Akim Williams, a top 10 finisher in last year's Mr. Olympia, 7th place in this year's Arnold Classic. Man, I can't wait to see what you look like on stage. For Xavier Wills and Akim Williams, we are out.
Thank you, man.